What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and today we're gonna finish off the I almost said the wrong name. Sleep is canceled. Goose Pimples. Top 20 scariest TikTok videos of 2025. The last video we recorded was from 20 till now, and we're gonna do from now to finish. So, with that being said, let's go.
Big Dave is used to being the main big man in his house, so imagine his horror when he realised that his security camera caught something 10 times more powerful than he could ever wish to be. Just as his son was ready to raid the fridge at stupid o'clock, the security camera catches an unsettling ghostly apparition slowly walking in the other room. There's no mirror, no reflective surface, just an open plan doorway with plain walls. It could have been a family member walking past, but if the dude standing right in front of the camera appears perfectly clear, then why wouldn't anybody else? And let's be real, no normal person appears as a wispy, glowing blur. Big Dave might be the biggest man in the house, but whatever that was, it made sure he knew that his son was not the only one there that night.
A full body apparition. That is the holy grail for paranormal investigators, and that is to catch a full body apparition. I like how smooth it was because when, a lot of people tend to see the paranormal as Hollywood would over dramatize certain things and it got to be extravagant. No, no, no. It's very much the opposite. The paranormal is very much subtle. Yes, there are instances where where the entity has a lot of energy and it makes itself, known very, very, much to say the least. And but yeah, that I truly believe they caught something here. It didn't look like it was something edited in. It was very smooth within the frame. It moved. It was already in frame and it moved out of the frame. It's a very good catch. I've never seen that video before. Glad that it popped up now. Better late than never. I really enjoyed that one. Let's go.
This surgeon was working late into the night in a basically empty hospital ward so she could complete a demonstration video for her students. She didn't feel scared quite yet, as she was in her place of work and she knew there were at least a few co-workers around. But as she sat there and tried to get her script right, she realized that something much more sinister was running around. She managed to catch the moment she spotted it on camera.
So here we have two different kinds of sutures, polypropylene, monofilament, and chromic catgut. And the sutures last anywhere from 60 to 90 days. Can you please just show yourself? Just give me a sign.
Be careful what you ask for.
Do whatever you want.
After she pulled herself to her feet to investigate whatever it was that she saw, she bumped into a coworker and said something very interesting.
I'm literally tearing up right now. I saw it. I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
What on earth is it? In the hospital the video is taken from, the women's bathroom on one floor is out of order and has been for a while. Mainly because everyone stays away from it due to the speculation that it's haunted by something terrifying. Could this be the it they're talking about? Maybe. Because after her debrief, she runs straight to the women's toilets to try and get the spirit to show itself. But nothing happens. Feeling defeated, the surgeon retrieves her phone from the bathroom floor and goes to sit back in her room. But that's when all hell broke loose. While the voice could have been from anyone, it sounded like it was nearby. And we know that the surgeon was on her own, at least in that portion of the hospital. The guy she spoke to didn't follow her or anything. The door could have been self-closing. But if she works in the hospital and knows it well, that would be a feature she would be familiar with. So why would it scare her so much? And that shadow, that must be the same thing she saw earlier when she stopped recording the video for her students. What kind of entity could it be? Leave any theories you have below.
I mean, that's not the first time I saw the video. I actually reacted to it and I actually liked it the first time around. I do still like it, but after seeing it the second time, it's like where she was recording her video, how, it seemed like she had to walk a lot, right? It seemed like what I don't know. It's like the math ain't mathing. Like the distance that she walked to where, the bathroom is and everything, to where she left the camera and all this. No, it doesn't, like, how was she able to notice? And even if she did notice, why would she think that it wasn't anybody? Anyway, something doesn't really feel right there. But one of the things that I didn't mention is that, when people, yes, she did have a mask, but people will recognize this video because this video actually did go, I'm not gonna say viral, but it's very well known out there. Or who knows, it probably went viral. Like, you're not supposed to record yourself in uniform in your place of work to do, and upload a video on social media, TikTok. You're kind of putting your career on the line. You're putting the hospital's name on the line. So, that is something that I think about when you see certain things like this, that it gives a little bit more credence to the video because they're sacrificing a lot to pull what? A fake paranormal call on tape video, right? Um, I don't think that voice was anybody else. I think that was a EVP call with the camera audio. Yes, it happens. Doesn't necessarily need to be a voice recorder. And yeah. That's the only thing that really got me scratching my head is from where she was recording her video for the students to the point where she had to go all the way basically to another portion of the hospital. It's just a little bit weird.
Nothing sets off a child's toy collection like a creepy haunted doll, right? Well, that must have been what Sarah thought when she purchased this absolute hellspawn for her younger daughter.
Quedé sola yo aquí en mi casa hace como que unos 2 o 3 días y yo estaba acostada cuando sola empezó a sonar, pero si se dan cuenta no tiene absolutamente nada aquí, porque yo todo le quito, pues mira, si le tocas absolutamente todo se le quita, mira.
While somewhat more modern looking than most haunted dolls we've seen, the scare factor is still off the charts with this one. So much so that when her daughter left to stay with family for a few days, she left the doll in her room with no batteries inside. That night, Sarah was in for a nightmare come true. While home alone, 2 a.m. hit, and she heard a sound from the bedside table that made her every hair stand on end. She pulled out her phone to try and catch anything she could on camera, check out the footage she caught.
Esta muñeca no para de moverse. Estoy aquí acostada y mira, fíjate. Es en serio, no hay nadie. ¡Ay, Dios mío santo! ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Hola? Y es que no hay nadie. ¿Soy yo o la maleta se movió? ¿Quién está ahí? Mira, no hay absolutamente nadie aquí. Lo tengo más que claro, no hay nadie, mira.
Looks like she could be dealing with two entities, one tied to the doll and one that minds the bags. The terror didn't end there, though. As she stumbled through the rest of her home, desperately trying to catch a break from the onslaught, she noticed that the doll had stopped singing and moving. Hoping that might be the end of it, she tiptoed back into the kitchen area and looked directly at her large windows, which is when she caught something downright weird.
No hay absolutamente nadie aquí. Lo tengo más que claro, no hay nadie, mira. Padre Celestial, ¿soy yo? ¿Estoy mal o hay alguien allá parado? Esta cosa se está... Mira, mira, fíjate. Va para el cuarto de la niña. ¿Te das cuenta? Mírala. Va para el cuarto de la niña.
This part is like paranormal whiplash. Sarah was standing behind the breakfast bar in the kitchen when she looked at the windows. So who the hell was reflected standing in front of it? The figure is human-shaped, but indistinguishable past that point. Could the black head be long tattered hair draped over someone's face? Or something even more sinister, more demonic? Either way, it goes to show that dolls don't have to be porcelain-faced and draped in musty Victorian gowns to fuel your nightmares.
So that video is all BS. As you can see, she showed us, a clip of her that the doll didn't have batteries. Who's not to say the batteries was put in it later on. Everything else was just orchestrated. That video is a fake, phony. Enough said.
Danny Donahue had a burning passion for all things film and media. He spent most of his days poring over different creepy monster movies and making one of his own. But as he put some of the final touches to his masterpiece, he realized he needn't have ventured out of his own apartment, because something scarier than any Godzilla movie was just waiting for him to discover it. It all started with some strange nightly disturbances.
I keep hearing noises in the hall outside the room. I haven't heard anything for about 5 minutes now. And
Oh, sorry, you guys. I forgot.
What on God's green earth was that? The shadow is gone almost as soon as it appears, but the noise it makes is haunting. What could it be? It wasn't long before the apparitions became a little more in his face. The creepiest thing here isn't even the figure dragging itself down his bed. It's the hand on the door, right at the beginning. Did you see it? Was it lurking there the entire time? Naturally, when it gets that bad, it can only get 10 times worse, can't it? The strange long-haired figure seemed to start tormenting him more frequently and violently as time went on.
Here we go, The Grudge.
It looks more and more solid the more you watch. Could it be a ghost, a demon, or some kind of weird squatter? The next time he managed to capture any footage, it was a super close call.
Why didn't you turn on the light before going in there? Oh my God, it was outside the bathroom. It was outside the bathroom. What? I mean, geez, that is the worst architectural disaster ever. Could you imagine your light switch to the bathroom is outside of the bathroom and you're taking a shower and somebody just wants to F with you and just turns off the light? That is the worst. And I'm sorry, I pay attention to details, and that one detail bothers me more than this whole entire video.
What the hell is it? It's half human woman and half horrific spectral nightmare. He had become used to his nighttimes being ruined by this entity, but after a while, it began to strike in the daytime as well. These clips are all petrifying, but one thing we do need to remember is that Danny is a film fanatic and dabbles in directing and editing his own. This could all be a fantastic project created in his own mind, but if it's not, then he needs to get a priest down there stat.
I am going to quote what I said when I first saw that video. As a film director doing an independent film. Amazing. Amazing. But if it was a paranormal caught on tape, no.
Aston Hall, a stunning Jacobean mansion in Birmingham, England, might look like something straight out of a history book, but don't let its beauty fool you. Built between 1618 and 1635, this Grade 1 listed building is dripping with elegance and a whole lot of ghostly baggage too. It is said to be one of the most haunted places in the UK, and the eerie events captured here might just explain why. Watch closely, because this footage is chilling in more ways than one.
Mary? You mean you no harm? We know you're in there. We've seen you. Where are you, Mary?
Oh God.
Mary?
Did you see it?
Mary? Mary? Are you still in there, Mary? You can come out now. My name's Thomas. Hello.
Mary is a well-known ghost here, and our brave explorer is calling out to her to manifest. How good of an idea it is calling ghosts in a haunted house from the 15th century to manifest is debatable, but let's give our curious friend some credit for their bravery. There. Did you see someone running past? Perhaps a female in a dark tunic? I think Thomas might want to think twice before he asks her to come out again. These TikTokers are a couple on vacation, and it's pretty clear that the wife is definitely not interested in running into ghosts, but the husband thought it would be funny, knowing the history of the hall, to call upon its ghostly resident. And funny it was, until Mary decided to RSVP in person. Now call me old-fashioned, but if a 15th century ghost in a tunic is speed-walking past me, I'm not sticking around to ask her where she's headed. As for Thomas, well, maybe next time he'll keep his ghost invitations to himself, unless he's planning to book a one-way ticket to Paranormal Palooza. What do you think? Did Mary make an appearance, or was it just a trick of the light? Let us know before Thomas's wife files for divorce over his ghost hunting antics.
I've already seen that video and I actually liked it very much. Due to the fact that I wish he would have been able to go into the room to investigate a little bit further. I understand that after catching a shadow figure running across the room, you're not gonna really be for going into that room. I get it. I get it. Now, from my perspective, from what we see, a shadow is only cast due to a light source, and the light source seemed to be opposite to the door, which means that if there was a light source casting that shadow, there should have been a light source on the wall of the door to catch somebody walking back and forth. And honestly, those old style Victorian houses don't have huge rooms, and by the looks of the stairs and the structure of it, this looked like it was it didn't look like it was a big room. That's what I'm trying to say. So if there is somebody pacing or walking back and forth to cast a shadow, that fast, we would have heard the floor creaking, we would have heard movement, we would have heard something. But the fact is, we didn't. So that is one of the reasons why I really enjoyed that video. I think they caught a shadow figure moving back and forth. Whether or not it was Mary is up for question, but I did like the video very much.
The woman in this next video had just finished deep cleaning her kid's room, wiped down every surface, organised the toys, and made sure her toddler was safely placed back in her playpen, with her daughter watching Miss Rachel. She dashed downstairs to do some laundry. When she returned, her daughter was holding a blue bottle stem, one that the mother swore she didn't give her, and a bottle that had no business being on the nursery floor. Disturbed and confused, she rushed to review the baby monitor footage, and what she found left her reeling. Take a look.
So we've seen this video a lot. So if you guys want to know my reaction, check out the videos prior. But we're just gonna keep it moving after this.
At first, the toddler appears calm, eyes glued to the show, until she suddenly turns her attention to something just off screen, as if someone had entered the room. Then, a blue bottle stem strangely appears out of nowhere, as if it were delivered by the Tooth Fairy, which she picks up and starts nibbling on. Moments later, a bottle falls right in front of her, and then, perhaps the most eerie part, she blows a kiss to someone or something we can't see, almost like she was impressed by their service. Now, let's break it down. Remember that the mother only reviewed the baby monitor footage because she was confused about how her daughter had the bottle and the stem. Well, this is what she said when commenters asked her to make another video to show what her kid's room looked like.
Okay, so this is my daughter's playpen that she was in when the bottle thing happened. So she was standing right here. The stem would have fallen about here. And as you can see, like directly in front of that on the other side is the toy bin where the bottle had landed. It landed about here. There's nothing around that the bottles could have come from, especially because like they landed straight down. So there's a little dresser, and then over there, and there is where the dressing room is, which is where the bottles were, where I put everything before I went downstairs to take everything out. So really no explanation. There's the monitor that caught it.
She claims that all baby bottles were washed and stored in the changing room, not in the nursery. Even more curious, the stem that dropped first doesn't even match the bottle that fell later. Even scarier is when you observe the stem closely, you'll see that it appeared to be outside of the playpen at first, almost as if it spawned behind the white barrier, and in a split second, it seems to pass through the net, not above, not under, through. Then again, there's no way that baby was holding it because we can see both hands and mouth. Even if the stem was being held somewhere on the crib or the baby's clothes, why would it first appear outside and then, almost as if it teleports back inside? So where did it come from? Some commenters believe that this was a textbook case of ghostly interaction, possibly a gentle ghost trying to help. The mother later shared that her own mother passed away when her daughter was just 14 months old. and never got to meet her granddaughter. She believes it was the spirit of the grandmother trying to tell her that her daughter was hungry, and many commenters were quick to point out how their little ones also call out the names of some deceased relatives they never met, fearing that spirits have a way of communicating with kids. What do you make of this video? Was this her mother trying to let her know that she's still with them? Or could it be something more sinister that should be expelled? Like, now? On the other hand, did the bottle somehow find a way to defy the laws of physics? We'll let you decide.
Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section.
When Amelia moved into her home, she was over the moon with it, but she knew it needed a few renovations. One of the main culprits was a particularly rattly floorboard, but when she lifted it up to try and nail it down properly, she saw something that stopped her in her tracks.
Whoa. I noticed that there's nothing actually holding this floorboard down, so when you walk on it, it rattles a lot. So I looked underneath the floorboard to see where I could, like, nail it down again. But I had to get my camera out because... Can you see that? That looks like something buried to me. It's wedged under the old floorboards. I don't know what that is. Oh.
I would definitely use gloves.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'm not gonna be able to get this out. I'm gonna have to cut this because I'm gonna need both hands to get this out because it is like wedged in there. Okay, so I think it's coming out. It looks like it's got gold on it. Oh, it's coming. Whoa. It is filthy. How long do you reckon that was in there for? It's definitely a book, but they're not like actual pages, they're like really thick. Alright, I'm gonna have to open this on camera. I'm gonna clean this up because I don't want to breathe this in and make another video.
Curious as ever, she cleaned up the book and took a look inside. But that is when things started to take quite a sinister turn.
What I found hidden under the floorboards of a 250-year-old house.
It's wedged under the old floorboards. Whoa. It's definitely a book, but they're not like actual pages, they're like really thick. That is so weird.
Let's see what was inside. The book seemed normal at the start, filled with old portraits. But things took a creepy turn the further I went into the book. I noticed what seemed like a very old photo of my house. This is when the pictures took an unsettling turn. The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling. A dark shadow appears in all of these photos. I can't help but think what else could be buried under those floorboards. I will search for more hidden items.
At first the pages consisted of Victorian portraits, but after her eyes fell upon an old picture of her house, the album got spooky. The pictures of the empty rooms have a chilling feeling to them, and what the hell is that imposing dark shadow in all of them? All of this treasure hunting left her wanting more, so she headed back to the fateful floorboard and had a look for some more spooky treasures. Let's just say she hit the jackpot.
Why has it got so much wax on it? So if you've already seen the other video, I found a book that was hidden under the floorboards. So I've decided to see if there was anything else under the floorboards. So this is what I found so far. There was in fact more coins. Got no idea what this is. If anyone knows what this is, let me know. Another coin. I was doing a bit of digging to the right of where the book was, and there does seem to be something else down there which looks quite interesting. Okay. It's got like wax on it. It's got liquid in it. There's another one there. So that just makes things like 10 times more interesting. Why has it got so much wax on it? It's got cork in it. Oh. I probably shouldn't be doing this on the floors. I'm going to open these downstairs because I'm fairly certain I don't know what's in that. And I'm fairly certain that's got liquid in it as well. Ugh, it stinks as well. Right, I'm gonna clean up and open these downstairs. I don't think I want to open this one because I don't have gloves for a start. I'm probably gonna catch some like horrible disease or something.
I already opened one.
Why the hell she would open those is lost on us, but the scariest thing isn't that the vials have been there for ages, it's the fact that they look a lot like the kinds of things used in black magic. Suspicious black liquid, wax seals, all buried under the floor, doesn't exactly sound like harmless fun, does it? And it absolutely wasn't, because this is what started happening in her home after she unearthed all of that history. Some commenters were a bit suspicious of whatever fell over on the wall, some even accusing her of throwing it herself and palming it off as paranormal activity, so she posted a zoomed-in version. Either those headphones were dangling on a hook in the middle of a wall, or they were floating before being dropped. Yeah, a lot of this could be recreated with good props and some string, but something about it all seems so real.
Yeah, unearthing objects from a very old home, you are taking a risk right off the bat. Opening and touching all of that stuff without gloves, like what is broken in here? Right? I'm just saying. She just opened that veil like if she never actually has common sense. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All of that stuff could have been literally infested with God knows what asbestos and all this and that. And the vials, she just opened it. You saw a spurt coming out. Could have been freaking anything, dudes. Come on, man. Use your brains, bro. Like, I don't understand people. I don't understand. But those paranormal activities could have been orchestrated for sure. And if that's the only thing that has happened after unearthing, God knows how old those objects were, then she's lucky.
This guy can't seem to catch a break. He works the long graveyard shift hours as a security guard for a leisure centre in his Spanish town. He and his work partner spent their evenings waiting for something to happen that never does. Or does it? Because after a while, his co-worker started taking less and less shifts, telling him that he felt as though things around him were messing with his head. The longer he worked there alone, the more he'd wish he heeded his partner's warnings.
Puta madre, coño. Joder.
The activity could have been achieved with some pulled strings, but where would anyone be hiding in that tiny room to pull them undetected? These kinds of things
Cameraman.
happen throughout the entire leisure centre, activity normally centering around the children's play areas.
Bueno, algo raro. Su madre.
You could say it's unbalanced weight, but it is not suspicious that two things topple over in the exact same fashion. He mustered up the courage to carry on doing his usual rounds, and as you probably guessed, it only got more hair-raising.
Mira, la puerta esta, ¿por qué está encendido? Hostias. ¿Hola? 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 Hostia, me piro.
Luckily for him, after this downright horrifying experience, the Christmas holidays rolled in and he got some well-deserved chill time. Well, that was until he realised whatever had been haunting him at work might have followed him home.
Hola, buenas, feliz Navidad. Aquí en la casa de mis padres esperando a ver, para darles una sorpresa a ver ahora cuando vengan, que no saben que estoy aquí. ¡Hostias!
When he went back into work afterwards, he tried his best to stay away from the kids' area, hoping that if he just kept away from the hotspots, he would be fine, but he couldn't have been more wrong. The scariest part of this video is right at the end when the rowing machine handle continues to move. But it's not the swaying, it was the fact that it spun around and came to a complete halt. As it began to gently bounce up and down, he was hit with the undeniable realization that someone or something was holding onto the bar. He hot-footed it back through the building, hoping to happen upon something less petrifying, but as he stumbled past the kids' area once more, he was drawn towards one of the playrooms, which was when he witnessed his last straw.
Ay, su madre. Ay, su padre. Ay, su vieja. No jodas, no. Es que suenan... Se oyen cosas, macho. Ay, su... Joder.
He just messed up. I mean, the whole entire time I'm here thinking, man, all of this could be done with strings. All of it. So check over here. You're going to see something shiny going off. Like just look at the floor. The flashlight the is shining off the rope.
No jodas, no.
So
Es que suenan... Se oyen cosas, macho. Ay, joder. No jodas, macho. No, esto ya. El carrito, macho. Ay. No, esto ya muy raro.
The toy truck rolling by itself might have been the final straw, but it was that silent, empty building refusing to stay silent that pushed him to his limit. Whether these clips were the result of something messing with him from the shadows, or something far worse trying to latch on, one thing's clear: whatever's haunting that leisure centre isn't finished with him yet.
Ay, su vieja.
I don't believe nothing of there, and his reaction doesn't seem authentic either. He's talking Spanish, but it just seems like, he's not in it. He's like, all right, let's do it now, right? I don't believe nothing, and we just saw the string.
A man named Tristan is home alone late one night when he captures evidence that proves the strange noises in his apartment aren't being caused by his cat. For a long time, he had a simple explanation for the bumps and sounds he'd hear at night. It was just the cat. It was an easy way to dismiss the unsettling feelings and stay sane. But on this night, that convenient explanation is about to be completely shattered. With his cat nowhere in sight, he's forced to confront what was really making the noise. Take a look.
Three knocks.
He hears a series of loud, aggressive knocks. You can see from the tremor in his hands that he's genuinely terrified, not just startled. Now, a skeptic's first thought is simple. Someone is just knocking on his front door. It's a fair point, but Tristan insists the sound was coming from inside the dining room. And you have to admit, that panicked shivering seems like a pretty extreme reaction to a simple knock. But this encounter was just a warm-up act.
Wow.
Whatever was making the noise that night was about to get a lot bolder.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. If this is real, which I'm kind of leaning towards that it is, you could be walking around your house and just with the sense of being watched, with the animosity, that energy in the atmosphere, you're gonna start shaking. A lot of times when I go out into the field, into these abandoned places, I am holding my camera, and yeah, I tremble, not because I have, some possible genetic issues going on with my nerves, but also it's because I'm sensing certain things, and it's just that's my body reacting to it. As of right now, I'm feeling that this might be a real video, but let's keep it moving because sometimes they add another 2-3 seconds to it, which kills the whole thing. Better keep that door in frame.
The first thing you hear is the rattling, an aggressive, violent shaking of the doorknob. But Tristan isn't the only one who notices. His cat is already there, mesmerized by the door. And the cat's body language tells you everything you need to know. It's not curiosity. It quickly backs away, head low, tail down, classic signs of fear. Whatever is on the other side of that door, the cat knows it's not friendly. As Tristan gets closer, the rattling stops, and the door swings open on its own. He immediately shows the entire area. The room is tiny, with absolutely nowhere for a person to hide. This is no longer just a simple knock. The entity has escalated from making noises to physically interacting with his apartment, and his cat's reaction confirms it's something to be feared. This belief that animals can sense the supernatural isn't new. For thousands of years, cultures have seen them as conduits to the spirit world. The ancient Egyptians, for example, revered cats, believing they could see things beyond our reality and offer protection from evil spirits. Modern paranormal investigators still rely on this, treating the reactions of pets like a living, breathing EMF meter. When a familiar, comfortable animal suddenly displays clear signs of fear towards an empty space, it's considered one of the most credible pieces of evidence you could get. So what is he dealing with? A poltergeist that's becoming more territorial? Or has something else been awakened in that apartment? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
So this is gonna be our last video, you guys. Now, just that cat just was the cherry on the cake. Perfect. I mean, not perfect. That's far like, but I was already believing it, and now with the how the cat's reaction was just perfect. It was absolutely. So I am believing the video is authentic. My thing is, as far as advice for people, or even this gentleman, if he hasn't gotten help himself, you need to set up cameras that is in an angle that would capture rooms. One in the dining room, or I'm assuming is a dining room, catching both hallways. Definitely one inside that laundry room, but from that opposite angle of the door, catching the door and everything in it. Definitely one on the other end of that hallway, across from the door to, whatever the laundry room is. That way you have every area covered. The better, the more, the merrier. And try and get some really good evidence. That way you could present it to people that is out to help paranormal victims. So last video, you guys, let's do it.
On the 27th of September, Angie Knowles was looking after her grandson at her daughter's house. But what should have been a relaxing bonding session turned into a night of paranoia, where her grandson started acting strangely, like he could sense something wasn't right.
Please help with this!
What are you doing? Keegan, what are you doing? What? What's up? What are you doing? Where? Who?
Papa.
Thank you. What are you looking at? Okay. What? What is it? Who? What? Go on. Oh no. Who is it? Granddad? Oh.
The creepiest thing about this footage is the ending. He says it's Granddad.
Granddad?
Kids are difficult to make act, and they are known for being more susceptible to paranormal encounters. So could he really have seen his late grandfather in the living room? What do you think? Let us know.
But there seems to be a faint, ghostly outline of an animal-like face right in the middle. Could the cat's leg just get yanked into the air by nothing at all? You can see its whole body and tail as it ascends, and there is no hand holding any part of it. The fun doesn't stop there, however, because while the group put all of their attention into the rooms and the pub, something even more sinister was going on below them.
All right, you guys, that was an interesting video. I always say that I believe videos with that has little children in it because not everybody's a Macaulay Culkin, not everybody's a Dakota Fanning, right? Like you can't. These kids don't know how to lie, depending on this, how old they are. Like they're just too innocent, right? So I definitely think that that child was seeing something or somebody, and the only thing that I was like thinking in the back of my head was like, man, if you want the little kid, if you really feel that the little kid could speak, take the bobo out of his mouth, and maybe you might catch some answers. But if you want choose to leave it in there, uh, that's on you. You won't get real good answers. At least we got granddad out of it, right? But as of right now, I am believing that that video was authentic. Kids do have an open sixth sense more so than adults, because the older you get, the more certain aspects of our brain starts closing up. So I really do believe that. With that being said, you guys, if you are enjoying this kind of content, please do what you do when you like a channel. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.